Hello, everybody. Guys, retrograde is in full effect, but it is not just affecting my electronics, it's affecting everything. Oh my goodness, and where's my dog? Ava! You missed the greeting. I am shocked. See what I mean? See what I mean? It's been a crazy day, and it just seems like everything is off. No, we're clearing this bag out. So earlier today, I was editing, and I was looking for my coffee, and I had gotten up and gone to the bathroom, and when I came back, my coffee was gone. And like, it's hard to miss. And there's very few places that I go. The pathway in my house is kept very wide in case I have a wheelchair day. And so I get up and I go to the kitchen and I look around and I didn't see it. I looked in the bathroom, I didn't see it. And I come back and I'm like, that's all, that's it. That's where I went. And when I come back in the room here, it is sitting right in front of me. Now, mind you, when I was looking for it and before I got up to go actually look for it, I had been using my keyboard. I have no idea how it vanished into thin air and then reappeared. And so there's that. Let's see, I spilled a bottle of pills this morning, and I thought I was missing 3 pills, and still don't know where 2 of them are. But at some point, like, I decided I was gonna lay down and take a nap. And so you know how, like, your brain runs right before you're gonna fall asleep? And I mean, like, right before. So I'm falling asleep, and I have this, like, fleeting vision that one of the pills dropped into the cat fountain, the water dish, but I was, like, out of it already. And I wake up from my nap, and thank God I remembered that I had that, like, fleeting thought, and I went and looked in the water dish, and there was a dissolved white powdery substance in the cat fountain. So I had to take that. Thank God, like, none of the cats drank it because they're all absolutely fine. And so I had to take and dismantle the water fountain, clean that, which it needed it anyways, change all of the filters, excuse me, and put it all back together. That took a few hours. And then, so I'm editing, and I look at the clock and I see it's 10:09, and I'm like, oh, cool. I got enough time to still even take a shower if I want. And I get the thumbnail made, which takes, I don't know, like 10 minutes, like, ish. And I had a little trouble selecting a font, but nothing out of the ordinary. And then I hit download, and when I hit download, I look at the clock, and it's 11:44. I have no idea where my coffee went. I have no idea where my time went. Today is just off. And I have one stray random hair that is driving me bananas. I'm going crazy. absolutely nutty today, and I blame it on retrograde. Hello, Nana Laura. So that's why you all got a 10-minute notification, was because I needed at least 10 minutes to quick brush my teeth, go potty, and get back here. I can't even believe today. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. I know, I'm sorry. Hello, Linda Applegate, sweetie. Oop. Hey, it may have only been a 10-minute notice, but y'all are still here. Oh my gosh, you are the absolute sweetest. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Hello, C-Rex, my love. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. I'm going absolutely crazy today. Yeah, that's what's up. Hello, Buzzy Pug. I'm echoing? Is everybody else hearing an echo? Let me know. Hello, Spider-Man, honey. Tab. I don't know what that would do. That just puts a star by your name, saying that I starred your comment. Hello, Auntie M, honey. I blame retrograde. Folgergeist. Hello, Robert Chivley. Good to see you. Hello, Chris Van Allen. Oh, yeah, no kidding, right? Okay, it doesn't seem like anybody else's is. So, do you have it on Bluetooth? And is your volume all the way up? Because that can cause it. Yeah, see? You're the only one that's hearing it. Don't even, because Earl has been trying to get in that closet for days. Hello, Squishy. Yeah, see? Hello, Mark Addy, honey. Is there? I'm in Toma, so I have no idea. Baraboo's my hometown where I grew up, but I live in Toma now. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm blame. I never, prior to you, it was just a bad day. Now it's retrograde. Oh no. I have until December 1st to get back into the house. And I need to because there's a couple more things I have to get, but there's that little part of me. My brother says the last time that he went into that house, he had to leave within minutes because he just kept hearing a woman crying, and it sounded like mom. Now, I've not had a supernatural experience in that house for a very long time, aside from taking my SB7 spirit box in there and hearing a child say, "I really want a pony." Yeah, I have it on a recording. It was scary. And, oh, when I walked through a threshold, there's a threshold that's 100% a portal, and I walked through it and heard, "No!" The things that come over that spirit box. But, yeah, the time warp. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. Okay, so I'm just making a recommendation. Log out and come back in, because I want you here, and I want you to be able to hear things. Read my earlier comment. That must have been it. That must have been the one you were referring to. Too bad we can't stay. I've never seen Delirious, but I can hear Eddie Murphy in my head. Hello, Martha D, honey. Oh my gosh. The only problem is, like, you can't make things out in the moment because the speech pattern is so sped up. So you have to come back and then you have to put it into your software and cut it down 2 times. So I literally have to slow the speech down 2x in order to make out the words. The only one that you really can understand is "no." I did that one day. I could not figure out why Judge Simpson was like, he was echoing so bad, and I had him in 2 tabs. No. 6 generations in my home. My daughter is the 6th generation. So, yeah, there's a lot that have passed. There's a lot of stories that I have of experiences when I was a child. We'll just say that. A lot of them I don't even remember, but my mom sure remembered. Like, I had a imaginary friend named Eunice, a child that I met in the bay window. And it turns out my mom, of course, like, Eunice was never a spoken name in the house. And what child makes up the name Eunice? But my mom had asked me who I was playing with, and I said I was playing with Eunice. And she had, I think it was a cousin, or no, 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 not a cousin, like a great aunt, something like that. Some family member, like a couple generations before, when she was a child, that had passed away as a child. And so she knew of Eunice, but, like, it wasn't a spoken name in the house. So for me to say that name is my imaginary friend that I was playing with. Oh, and the bay window that I met Eunice in was where Eunice's funeral service had been held. That's where her casket was. So, yeah, my mom told me that one when I got older. Okay, this is what you said earlier. We still do bits from it. I got some ice cream. Did you get the pork rinds and Pepsi? And you don't have none. That's not a fire. I'll show you a fire. I don't want to kiss Aunt Bunny. She got a mustache. What? Where am I? Imagine all of that in Eddie Murphy's voice. Apparently. I've never seen it. I wanted to name my daughter Eunice so badly. So much. But my my husband wouldn't sign on to it. He absolutely refused. He wanted to name her Mystique. And I said, I don't think she's a Mystique. And he wanted to spell it like different too. It was like Mystique, something like that. I don't remember now. But then I found the name Kendra, and I had never heard that before. And I was like, yeah, she's gonna be Kendra because it's Celtic and it means water baby. And in Chinese astrology, I'm a water dog. So, and I think she ended up being a water dog too. I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. I know she's something water. And then the other name I wanted was Bedelia. And my family shot that down because it sounds like an onion. So I couldn't name her Bedelia. And then I said, well, what about Olivia? And my mom flipped out because apparently my mom really hated the show Grease. And my mom says, you name her Olivia and I'm going to make her life hell. I'll call her Olive. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, woman? So, yeah, fun times. But everybody liked the name Kendra, and that's what she got. Oh, I don't know. I don't watch movies. I really don't. I'm terrible at movies. Like, just ask Mortimer Duke. He knows that I'm terrible with movies. He's always referencing them, and I'm always going, huh? Hello, Marcus Roth 24. Good to see you, honey. Welcome to the madness that is my life. Oh, I did find new cases tonight. You know, that's a bonus. I found a judge in Ohio that I've never seen before. So I was excited about that. And that took forever to edit, but I got it done. And then I decided, you know what? Let's mix some old with the new. And I went and I got some Judge Slavins, and I found two attorneys just yelling at each other, and that was a blast to watch. I am on nothing but confusion. Nothing at all. Yes, I'm sober as a deacon. And I don't know where that saying came from because, I don't even know how sober deacons are. Oh man. Olive oil. Oh, see, I've been watching a lot of comedy lately, but it's all like Britain's Got Talent and the AGT specials, and seeing comedians like Kojo and oh gosh, there's one that I love. He's Malawian, and he is hilarious. Oh, he's one of my favorites, and I just love his voice. And then well, he actually started out I've watched him since he was on Kill Tony. There's a guy named Aaron Belial. I love Aaron Belial. He ended up on America's Got Talent. And then there's Josh Blue. Love Josh Blue. Gatis Candice. Love Gatis Candice. And I don't know what happened to these guys after their performances, but they were amazing. So yeah, I should maybe I should watch it because I love comedy. Anything that makes me laugh. Delirious and Raw are the greatest. Cool. I'll have to see that. Isn't that the watermelon guy? That's all I know of him. I don't think I've ever seen him other than like maybe a short or something about him and watermelons. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Oh my. 57. Oh, that's great. I like that one. Oh, okay, guys. Oh, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for showing up for me, even though I was well, okay, I was only 10 minutes later than usual, but you got no notice. So, so it feels like I'm much later. We haven't done a Discord movie night in a long time. Oh, do you know how far back up I have to scroll and read through all of them just to find it? I'll do it when the case is playing. Hold on. Hold on. I saw you mention it like twice. Let's see here. Hoarders. Catch up later. Great uncle. Eddie Murphy. This is the only one, and I commented on that one. There is no comment about Russians otherwise. There's hoarders, and I'll catch up later, and yeah, there's nothing about Russians. I have no idea what we're talking about right now. I am so lost. I am so confused. Don't do this to me. I don't see Earl. I see Billy. That's Billy. Billy likes to go upside down on the couch and like run. It must be getting blocked by StreamYard. StreamYard does that on certain comments. If they think that there's a potential for it to be like upsetting to any group, I don't know. So yeah, you're probably getting StreamYard censored. Like I get censored all the time. I'll have to like look it up on my phone or something. But I'm sorry. It's really not me. It's really, really not me. It's retrograde. Hey, I found Earl. There he is. Oh, all right, guys, let's get this show going. No, honey, it's not you. It's probably got something that either YouTube or StreamYard has as a blocked phrase, and it could be anything. Just ask Manuel. It could literally be anything. If it is deemed politically offensive or internationally offensive or snowflake offensive, like it'll get cut and there's nothing we can do about it. Like it doesn't even show up. It just vanishes into thin air like my thermos did. Dun dun dun. So yeah, I don't know what part of your comment got censored, but it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I did not do it. Probably. He's probably going to try breaking into those closet doors again. Yeah, that's the most annoying sound in the world. Yeah. When he does it, I'll make sure to pause the video and let you all hear what I have to listen to for hours. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm still not allowed to say it. It's crazy. Yep. Anything. Hit, smash. God forbid you used the C word during 2020. If anybody mentioned it or said, if they said jab, oh my gosh, that got blocked. It like, yeah, everything YouTube is wild. Yep. All right. That was fun. That was really fun. Now, I titled this thing. I named it. Goes into one folder. And it was only what, half hour ago since I named it? I have no idea what. Oh, there it is. I found it.
You can call next case. Give me 1 second, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Next case, State of Ohio versus Nakia Gray. I pronounced that correctly? Nakia?
Yeah.
25 CR 1410. Ms. Smith, I'll hear from you at first.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Ms. Gray, Ms. Gray is in receipt of her indictment. She's had it for more than 24 hours and waives any defects in time, manner, or place of service. She further waives reading of the indictment and advisement as to penalties, respectfully enters a plea of not guilty, and asks to be heard on bond.
Thank you. So, Ms. Gray, you received a copy of the indictment?
Yes.
When did you get that, if you remember?
I got it this past Wednesday.
Okay, so a couple of days ago at least?
Yes.
You do have the right to have me read it to you, as I briefly just explained to the other gentleman, but you can also waive that. Would you like me to read it to you at this time, or do you want to waive that?
Waive it.
All right. Then in regards to each of the 4 counts in your indictment, what is your plea to each of those 4 counts?
Not guilty.
I'll enter a plea of not guilty. As to bond, let me hear from the state first as to what they're seeking here. Mr. Shapiro?
Your Honor, thank you, Your Honor. I have had a conversation with Ms. Smith, also the victim in this matter. These charges stem from a relationship that the defendant has with her son's father. The defendant has a 3-year-old child with a man named James Moss. He's the victim in this case. The bond was set at the municipal court at $50,000 cash surety with conditions of no contact with the victim or Bishop Park Apartments in GPS. The bind-over charges are more serious than what was actually indicted. The bind-over was a menacing by stalking against Mr. Moss, also a trespass in a habitation.
Against Mr.
Mr. Moss being the victim.
Oh, not against him, but I mean, all right.
He's the victim.
Gotcha.
And the F4 trespass in a habitation also was his apartment. Turns out the indictment's a lot different here. We have a criminal damaging. It says the defendant kicking the defendant's door, broke the frame, was out of frustration, not an attempt to enter his apartment. But she did try to enter his apartment on another day here. That's the attempted trespass in a habitation on the indictment. In speaking with the defendant is 24 years old. She has 1 prior misdemeanor disorderly conduct reduction in the municipal court, which was from June of this year, that also involved Mr. Moss. Other than that, she has no record. Mr. Moss was not scared of the defendant. He has no objection to her bond being reduced even to a known recognizance. He doesn't even think GPS is appropriate. He doesn't want her to come by his apartment anymore.
So why are we here right now for
Because it was a $50,000 cash surety bond, and I didn't feel that it was appropriate for us to just unilaterally change it and present you with a form to that effect, Your Honor. I wanted,
That's a first.
if I was the judge, that's what I'd want. So that's why. So we have an agreement here in terms of the state would not object to an owner recognizance bond in this matter with the conditions of no contact
With Bishop Park Apartments or the defendant,
Mr.
or the
Moss.
victim.
But Mr. Moss did say that he does want to be able to communicate over the phone about the child.
Well,
But I told him
that's going to be too much of a. That's going to have to wait until this gets resolved.
Yes, Your Honor. So
I'm assuming you're good with that bond?
Yes, we have no objection to the owner recognizance bond or the no contact order.
Well, I'm going to set bond, then reset bond at the defendant's own recognizance with the condition that you have no contact with Bishop Park Apartments and no contact with Mr. Moss. And that means you can't contact him about your child either. And I know that may be an issue now, but I can't say except for these circumstances, because then it can never be monitored or policed. So while this is pending, that's going to have to be the rule. You understand that?
Yes.
And we've reduced your bond substantially, but if you violate that, I'm not going to hesitate to revoke it. If we find out that you reached out to him, and even if you come up and say, well, I found out something about my daughter and I had to talk to him, that's not going to be an excuse. There's no excuses here. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. And then bond will be reset at defendant's own recognizance with the condition of no contact at Bishop Park Apartments and no contact with the victim, Mr. Moss. She fill out paperwork? You got one filled out there for
We
her?
have conditions of bond. We do not have the owner recognizance paperwork.
I have OR paperwork, Your Honor. I will give that to Ms. Smith right now.
Smith, you said you had conditions of bond form filled out already?
I do as well.
What county is Bedford? Is that Cuyahoga County?
That is.
I'm gonna put that up here too then. That's where you're gonna be residing in Bedford?
Yes.
So this OR bond, Ms. Gray, means you have to show up at all future court dates. And if you fail to appear at a future court date, that's a separate felony that you can be prosecuted for. It's actually more serious than anything you're charged with here right now. And you can get up to 18 months in prison on that, which could be consecutive to anything that could happen with any of these charges. So it's obviously, or at least a felony. So it's obviously important you show up at all your future court dates. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Very good. All right. Last case for now, State of Ohio versus Lavelle Vinson, 25 CR 1312. Ms. Smith?
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Vinson, he is in receipt of his indictment and has been for more than 24 hours, waives any defects in time, manner, place, or service, waives reading of the indictment as well as advisement as to penalties, respectfully enters a plea of not guilty, and asks to be put on bond.
All right. Mr. Vinson, you received a copy of your indictment?
Yes, sir.
When did you get that, sir?
Today.
Okay. So they attempted to serve it, I think, earlier, last week maybe? And then you got a notice and you came in today?
Yes, the address that y'all had on file for me was 2 years old, so I didn't get the original copy.
How did you know that this was scheduled for today?
Well, I had corresponded with my
All
public
right.
defender.
But you received a copy of the indictment?
Yes, sir.
I could read it to you if you'd like, or you can waive the reading. What would you prefer at this time?
You can waive it, sir.
Very well, then, and you're charged with the one count of failure to comply with an order signal of a police officer, felony in the third degree. What is your plea to that count at this time?
Not guilty.
All right, I will enter a plea of not guilty to the charge. Let me start with the state on the matter of bond. Ms. Cut.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to clarify, originally, this wasn't set for arraignment today. It was set for October 31st. He was attempted to be served on October 21st. Came back bad address. He did not appear on October 31st for the arraignment. I was contacted last Friday that he wanted to turn himself in on it. I called Ms. Smith back to ask a couple questions. I didn't hear back. The information I have is that it was a bad address. That is the address that is on the clerk's website, and my understanding that he has been using. In addition, part of the bond conditions, the bond at a Willoughby Municipal Court was $25,000 cashier year 10% with no driving. Initially, it had GPS on it. GPS was then stated to be removed for Lake County because he was on GPS in Cuyahoga County. But the order was that if Cuyahoga County removed their GPS, defendant had to go to the Lake County Probation Department within 24 hours to have GPS put on for this case. I contacted Chief Probation Officer Craig Berry to find out if he was aware of GPS. Initially, he said no, that he didn't believe he was on GPS. He followed up and learned that Cuyahoga County had removed the GPS, and that though the defendant did not go to Lake County Probation Department and have it put on, he did have it put on by OnTrack. Just Lake County Probation had no idea. So he is on probation in 2 different cases in Cuyahoga County. The reason the GPS was put on in September of 2025 was for a probation violation for failing to report. In addition, just looking at the factors, when we look at bail for the seriousness, for this case, there were multiple traffic violations, including speeds over 120 miles per hour during this failure to comply. Around 3:30 in the morning, there were other vehicles as well as semi-truck on the road.
We call that fleeing and eluding around here.
Defendant does have a criminal history. He went to DYS as a juvenile for an assault in 2003. As an adult, in 2009, he has 3 different cases with convictions: felony DV, attempted robbery F3, domestic violence F4, a burglary F2, and another DV F4. The first domestic violence, he had probation and then had a violation. He did have
No, we're not here for sentencing right now.
Right, but part of the factors they do talk about the prior criminal history. So I did want the court to know he has additional felonies in 2015 that he went to prison. In 2017, he has misdemeanors. And then he's on probation for a 2022 case in trafficking and drugs and a 2023 case for domestic violence. There is on his leads a reference to a failure to appear warrant in 2020. He's not able to determine where that came from, and then he didn't show for his arraignment, and obviously the failure to report So we did ask for an increase in his bond to $50,000, cash surety or 10%, with conditions of no driving and GPS.
All right. Smith?
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Vinson, Mr. Vinson posted a $25,000 10% bond out of Willoughby Municipal Court back in September on this matter. He has been out on bond without further issue. He's had no further violations of his probation. He is on supervision to Cuyahoga County and reporting regularly. Additionally, Your Honor, Mr. Vinson did not fail to appear before this court for his arraignment when it was first set in a deliberate or willful manner. That was simply because he had not received service.
Why didn't you receive service?
Because it was sent to a bad address.
It was sent to the address that he used off the municipal court. I mean, we didn't just come up with this address. We got it from him.
Address
I
that.
mean, that's in all the paperwork that he filed, that he signed, that the address is there. So,
It's the address that's on his driver's license.
where did you think stuff would get sent it then? I mean, we're supposed to know where you're really living?
No,
The court pre-populated the information.
All right. Where's he didn't give another address, he didn't provide an address. How is he supposed to be notified?
I say something.
I don't know who wants to talk, but
Mr. Vinson reached out to counsel as soon as he learned of the warrant and indictment, and counsel reached
I
out.
get it, but he signed the paperwork saying this was his address. Now, maybe it was pre-populated at the Willoughby Municipal Court, but he represented by signing it that was his address. He could have crossed that out and said, that's not where I live. You're not going to be able to get a hold of me if you try to reach me at this address.
So at that time, I probably didn't look over the paperwork proper, but like since then, I've been on GPS for you guys.
Yeah, who reads those things anyways?
So it wasn't like I tried to run from the course or nothing.
I understand that, but we need to have an address of where you're living, and you didn't provide that.
And Mr. Vinson has completed a conditions of bond form.
Today, I mean,
With a current address. Additionally, he turned himself in upon learning of the warrant, and after counsel spoke with the state. Your Honor, we would ask that his original bond be continued at $25,000, 10%. We don't object to the GPS if the court feels that it's warranted to protect the public safety. However, it does create a financial burden for Mr. Vinson, and if the court is satisfied with his lack of violations since September, we would ask that it be removed.
all right, Mr. Vincent, if you're given a bond, you have to keep the court updated as to where you're living. And you could change. I'm not saying you can't change it, but as soon as it changes, you need to notify your lawyer, and so the courts can be notified, because we have to notify you by sending stuff to the address that you provide for us.
Yes, sir.
We're not mind readers. We don't know, that you don't live at the address that's on there. And I'm not saying it's unusual that someone's address on their license, they live somewhere different from that. Obviously, that happens. But you need to keep us updated. If you move, 1 month and then you move somewhere else you're living, you need to let us know that. And if you don't, it's going to be a violation of your bond. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Court's got to reset bond at $25,000 cash surety or 10%. Anything else for the record?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Cutts?
Your Honor, we'd ask at least for the no driving as a condition.
Yeah, you're not to drive. You're not to drive. Condition of your bond as well. I didn't hear that. If you said that, I missed that. Sorry.
It was no driving and GPS.
Well, I'm eliminating the GPS requirement, but I'm keeping the no driving condition. At least in Lake County. I don't know if there's GPS somewhere else. I have no authority to do anything about that. And do we have a conditions form?
Conditions and speedy trial.
All right, here, Stan, you can put that with that. All right, anything else, Ms. Cutts?
Not this time.
Ms. Smith?
Oh, not this time.
Oh, you answered. All
I
right.
answered.
All right, thank you.
All rise.
We're here this morning, the State of Ohio versus John S. Penland, case number 25 CR 838. The defendant is present, open court with their attorney, Mr. Mulkey. We are here today for a change of plea. The defendant is charged with one count of theft, a felony of the 5th degree. State's understanding that he will enter a plea of guilty today. There is no agreement at this time as to sentencing.
Thank you. Mr. Mulkey, is that accurate?
It is, Your Honor.
Were you able to hear what the prosecutor just had to say regarding what she believes your intentions are here at this time?
No, Your Honor.
You didn't hear what she just said?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
She indicated to the court she believes it's your desire to withdraw your previously entered plea of not guilty and plead guilty to the charge in this indictment. We would then continue the sentencing to a later day to get some evaluations completed, come back on a future day for sentencing where there's no agreement between the parties regarding any recommendations for sentencing. Each side is free to recommend to the court whatever sentence they believe is the right thing to do. Is that your understanding of the discussions that took place between your lawyer and the prosecutor and what you want to do today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, before I can accept your plea, I need to make sure you understand everything going on here. I need to make sure you understand what it is you're charged with and pleading guilty to, the rights you have that you give up by pleading guilty, as well as other possible penalties you face. So for me to determine all those issues, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If at any point when I'm asking you any of these questions, if you're unsure, unclear of anything I'm asking you, if you need anything repeated or clarified, if you want a moment to speak with your lawyer to ask him questions, or if you want to ask me questions, make sure you let me know that, because I need to make sure you understand everything going on, all right?
Yes.
All right. Let's get started then. How old are you?
22.
Are you able to read and write the English language?
Yes.
Do you have any difficulty with that or difficulty understanding what you read in the English language?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Now, before you came into court here this morning, have you any drugs or alcohol of any kind?
No.
What about in the last 48 hours?
No.
Not even prescribed medication, nothing?
No.
Now, did you receive, I know you did, you should have received a copy of the indictment in this case. Looks like you got it sometime around the middle of September. That's the document that sets forth the specific charge you're accused of committing. Do you remember getting that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you have the chance at some point to look that over?
Yes.
Now, in that indictment, what's alleged here and what you'll be admitting to is on or about September 19th of 2024 in Willoughby, Lake County, Ohio, that you did with purpose to deprive Lowe's Home Improvement, the owner of certain property, that being miscellaneous merchandise, that you knowingly obtained or exerted control over that property without the consent of Lowe's Home Improvement, who is the owner of that property, or anyone else that's authorized to give consent. It's further alleged the value of that property was over $1,000, which makes the offense theft, a felony of the 5th degree. Do you understand what you're charged with and pleading guilty to in regards to count 1?
Yes.
Any questions for me about it?
No.
Well, then before I can accept your guilty plea, I need to make sure you understand all the rights you are giving up by pleading guilty. And you, first of all, do have the right to have a trial in this case. That trial could be to me as a judge, or I listen to the evidence and I make that ultimate decision whether you're guilty or not guilty. But you also have a constitutional right to have a jury trial. And a jury trial would be in front of 12 citizens here from Lake County who would listen to all the evidence each side wanted to present. The jurors would consider and weigh all that evidence, and then the jurors would make that ultimate decision. That ultimate decision reached by the jurors would have to be a unanimous decision, which means all 12 of the jurors would have to agree together, one way or the other, guilty or not guilty. All 12 would have to agree, and before there could be a verdict. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to have a trial in this case?
Yes.
Now, if we did have a trial, the prosecutor here would be representing the state of Ohio, and she would have what we refer to as the burden of proof. Now, with her having the burden of proof, what that actually means is that it is her job, or she bears the responsibility, she bears the obligation of proving you guilty before you could ever be found guilty. You're presumed innocent of this charge. That presumption of innocence sticks with you and remains with you until the state, if at all, was ever able at a trial to overcome that presumption and prove you guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, when I speak of this burden of proof, since this is a criminal case, that burden is what we refer to as proof beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the highest burden of proof there is in our justice system. What it actually means, it's the amounts of the evidence and the quality of that evidence that the state would have to present before you could ever be found guilty of the charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to make the prosecutor prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this charge?
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to make the prosecutor prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this charge?
Yes.
Now, in order to try to do that, if we were going to have a trial, the prosecutor would bring witnesses into the courtroom to testify for the state, and they'd answer questions from the prosecutor. Once those witnesses answered the prosecutor's questions, then your lawyer would have the right on your behalf to ask those same person's questions. That's called cross-examination. He could ask them anything he wanted to within certain rules. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to cross-examine or confront those witnesses that would come in here and testify against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you'd also have the right at a trial. You could call your own witnesses to come to court to testify for you if you wanted to and answer your lawyer's questions. Now, you don't have to do that. You're not required to do that, but you have a right to do that if you want to. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you further can request the court issue an order. That order is called a subpoena. And what a subpoena would do is it would force or make someone come to court and testify for you and answer your lawyer's questions if they were not willing to come in voluntarily on their own. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You realize you're giving up that right?
Yes.
Now, you'd also have the right at a trial. You could choose to testify on your own behalf if you wanted to, but you do have a constitutional right not to testify if you don't want to. That's a decision or a choice that you would have to make. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And since that's your choice, what that really means then is that nobody else can force you or make you. You all right?
Yes.
All right. You were looking around here. You're able to focus on what's going on?
Yeah, I am. I'm here.
All right. Means then is that nobody else can force you or make you. You all right?
Yes.
All right. You were looking around here. You're able to focus on what's going on?
Yeah, I am. I'm here.
All right. The fact that it's your choice that you have to make means that nobody else can force you or make you. Nobody could compel you to testify against yourself at a trial if you didn't want to. I can't make you testify. More importantly, the prosecutor here is now allowed to call you as a witness, make you get up on the stand and answer questions and testify. Your own lawyer can't make you testify if you didn't want to. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You further understand that if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you would have the right to appeal or challenge that guilty finding to another court, a higher court that sits above me and reviews my decisions. By pleading guilty here today, you're giving up or waiving any right you have to appeal a guilty finding. This court will enter if your plea is accepted, as well as any other issues you could have raised or brought to my attention up to this time. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, well, do you have any questions at all about these rights we've just discussed? These are all the rights you have and all the rights you've given up by pleading guilty. Any questions? Do
No.
you understand them all?
Yes.
You still want to plead guilty?
Yes.
You understand a guilty plea is a complete admission of guilt. It means you're admitting to the facts being alleged by the prosecutor. We're not going to argue later that you didn't do this or it's someone else's fault or anything like that. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Further, as a result of pleading guilty, the effect of that plea is you'll be found guilty by the court, and then you will subsequently, on another day, be sentenced by the court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, as far as sentencing goes, you're pleading guilty to a felony of the 5th degree. This offense is punishable by a possible term in prison of a minimum of 6 months, a maximum of 12 months, or any whole number in that range of 6 to 12. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, are you currently on probation or parole to any of the courts or agencies?
Can you repeat that?
Are you on probation or parole, any type of supervision to any other courts or any other?
Yes. Portage County.
Portage County?
Yes.
You're what, on probation?
I'm on probation.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you on probation when this happened?
No.
Okay, so that's what just recently you were put on probation, what, a couple weeks ago?
Huh? Yes.
Were you on probation anywhere when this happened?
No.
Okay. Do you have any other charges pending against you right now that haven't been resolved?
No.
Okay. If a prison sentence is imposed in this case upon your release from prison, you could be placed in what's called post-release control. It's sometimes referred to as parole. It's a period of supervision you would be on after you served and completed the prison sentence. In this particular case, it could be up to 2 years. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And if you are on post-release control and you ever violated any of the conditions of your supervision, the parole authority could send you back to prison as punishment for violating their rules for another 9 months for each violation you commit, up to an overall maximum of 50% or half of whatever the prison term was imposed by this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, aside from the possible prison sentence, there's other sanctions that could be ordered. You could be fined, in this case, up to $2,500. You could be ordered to pay court costs. You could also be ordered to reimburse the county for any cost of confinement, community supervision, or treatment, if any that were applicable in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You could also be ordered to pay restitution to the victim for any economic loss any victim may have suffered as a result of your conduct. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, a few moments ago, I explained the possible prison sentence. I used the word possible because prison is not mandatory with this charge. You are eligible for probation or what we call community control sanctions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that just because you're eligible doesn't mean you'll automatically be put on community control? It means I will consider that if that's what you're asking for. I'm going to look at all the information that gets presented. Then I'll make the decision that I think is the right thing to do. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, if you are put on community control, it could be up to 5 years of supervision. And as the judge, I do have the discretion to order a wide variety of rules or conditions for you to follow. One of the conditions could be an order that you serve time in our Lake County Jail of up to 6 months, a condition of probation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Further, if you're on probation in this court and you ever violate any of the conditions of your probation, we would have a hearing here in court to see if you're what's called a probation violator. And if it was determined that you were, I could extend your probation up to 5 years, if it wasn't originally 5 years. I could impose more restrictive sanctions against you, including jail time, or I could terminate your probation and send you to prison at that point. If I sent you then, again, it could be 6 to 12 months in prison, and that could be consecutive to any other sentence you may be serving at that time or you're being sentenced to at that time. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lastly, when we do come back here for sentencing, you'll have the right at that time to say anything you want. Anything you want me to know or consider. Your lawyer can speak on your behalf. He can recommend the sentence to the court. The prosecutor is allowed to recommend the sentence to the court as well. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that whatever anyone says at sentencing regarding what they think the sentence should be, it is just what I said. It's a recommendation. I don't have to follow that if I didn't think that was the right thing to do. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then. Well, do you have any questions at all regarding the potential penalties you face by pleading guilty here?
No.
You understand all the possible consequences?
Yes.
Do you still want to plead guilty?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to discuss this case with your lawyer, have him review the report with you, discuss the issues, and answer whatever questions you may have?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the advice and counsel of your lawyer?
Yes.
Excuse me? Has he or has anyone made any promises to you about what's going to happen at sentencing, which is inducing you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you entering your guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, then. Do you have any questions for me at this point regarding anything we've just talked about? The rights you're giving up, penalties you face, what you're pleading guilty to? Any questions at all?
No, Your Honor.
Do you need any more time to speak to your lawyer?
No.
All right, then what we're going to do at this point, the prosecutor here is going to explain for me what she believes the evidence would show if we had a trial. I want you to listen to her because then I got some follow-up questions for you, all right?
Yes.
All right. Cantor.
Thank you, Your Honor. The evidence would have shown that on September 19th of 2024, the defendant did enter into the Lowe's in Willoughby, Lake County, Ohio. Between the defendant and the co-defendant in this case, items were selected from different aisles, put onto a cart. They were in the store for some time. The defendant did ultimately push that cart with all of the items past the point of sale without paying for any of them. They totaled $2,088.85.
What was the total?
$2,088.85.
Thank you. Were you able to hear what the prosecutor just had to say regarding what she believes the evidence would show if we had a trial?
Yes.
What, if anything, you have to say about those facts as she presented them? Are they accurate? Did you do what she said?
Yes.
Very well, then. Regarding count 1, charging you with theft of felony of the 5th degree, what is your plea to that count?
Guilty.
All right, I have in my possession here a 4-page document called a written plea of guilty and judgment entry, which explains everything I've just explained to you. Before I can accept your plea, I need to make sure you understand this argument. I need to make sure you understand the document, what it says in the contents of the pages, and that you sign it here in open court. My understanding is before I walked out here, you had a chance to go over this document with your lawyer, though. Is that correct?
Yes.
Smokey, is that accurate? Did you read this over with your client, review it, answer all the questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she indicate an understanding of the document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that true? You understand the document?
Yes, Your
You went
Honor.
over it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about it?
No.
It also appears you signed it. Did you sign it?
Yes.
And did you witness that, Mr. Mulkey?
I did.
Ms. Cantor?
I did, Your Honor.
Very well, then let the record reflect the defendant was here in open court. The lawyer advised of all our constitutional rights, made a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver of those rights. Court also finds the defendant understands the nature of the charge, the effect of the guilty plea, as well as the maximum penalty that can be imposed. Finding all this to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, the court will accept the defendant's plea, find the defendant guilty of count 1, theft of felony in the 5th degree, violation of 2913.02A1 of the first sentencing, order of pre-sentence report and investigation, and a victim impact statement. Any other evaluations or anything else you're requesting, Mr. Mulkey?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so then the victim impact statement and PSR. Bond was previously revoked. Did you want to be heard on that matter?
I do, Your Honor,
Go
please.
ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client, the address is Hosmer Avenue in Cleveland, 44105. My client resides there with his mother, Anisha Ponder. My client is set to start a job on Monday at Rich Boys Tires in Cleveland.
Job on Monday at Rich Boys Tires.
As it relates to why bond was revoked, my client was late to court, understands the consequences for that, has seen what happens when you come late to court, was being driven by his mother to court on that day. I just want to note for the court that at the time of the pretrial that we had, my client was also required to be in Portage at that same time, came here first, made every effort to show up for court for the pretrial, was here late last time, laments the fact that he was late to court, and would ask the court to consider reinstating that bond, trying to maintain his probation, follow the court's orders in Portage County, resolve this case here, take responsibility for that one, understands that he needs to appear for sentencing, and for a pre-sentence report. Will follow all the court's bond conditions as previously set, will not test positive for any substances, will complete the PSR, and follow any and all other bond conditions, Your Honor. So I would ask the court to take all that into consideration. Mr. Penland's been an excellent client, maintaining contact with me throughout the duration of my representation, again, including the need to be in Portage and here for the pretrial, was able to accomplish both of those things. Was a few hours late for court in Portage as a result of coming here first, but was able to work everything out and wants to do so and demonstrate to this court that he can do that again. Thank you, Your Honor.
Stay in position on bond.
Your Honor, the only thing that I know about the defendant is based on the history. They were just put on probation several weeks ago. They do have one prior felony conviction for the same type of theft in Geauga from March of this year. Other than that, no history. And as with regards to the ability to show up, they did come to the pretrial and were an hour late for the change of plea. Other than that, I have no position.
Well, the reason the bond was revoked was because you weren't here when it was scheduled. I know you called. You said you were running an hour late. This is not an open house. We're just not open from 8 to 4. You can show up whenever you want to show up. You were scheduled to be here at a certain time, and that's the time you were supposed to be here. We have other hearings scheduled throughout the day. If you don't show up when you're supposed to, and then I'm supposed to wait an hour for you to get here and do the next hearing, then the hearing that's scheduled for when you're supposed to go has got to be pushed back, and so forth, and then we all have to stay here late, and everybody else has to sit around and wait because you didn't get here when you were supposed to get here. That's not how it works.
I know, Your Honor. I apologize for me being late, but I had things that I was trying to put in order for making sure I was here, but there's no reason.
You didn't do it. You didn't do whatever you were supposed to be doing, apparently. So you need to try a little harder. You need to do whatever you need to do. If it's too early in the morning, then you need to get here the night before.
Right.
And do whatever you have to do. But there's no explanations for that. I mean, no, you did show up. And I'm going to reinstate your bond because of that. Hopefully the 3 days you sat in jail shows you the importance of being here on time. It's not going to happen again. If you don't show up when you're supposed to, even if you're late, your bond's getting revoked and you're just going to sit and we're going to wait until the next hearing. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, so I'll reinstate your bond at $5,000 cash surety, no contact with Lowe's. So you're going to get out of here sometime today. And it won't be immediately. They have to do paperwork to get you out, but you're going to get released here shortly.
Yes.
When you get released, you need to immediately go to the probation department, which is, you know where that is?
No, if I can get the address from my.
Well, it's in the same building you're in. You don't even have to walk outside.
Okay.
You're gonna come down one side of the, jail, you're gonna walk across, and then there's elevators right by the front doors. You're gonna take that up to the 3rd floor.
Okay,
That's the probation department, so you won't even have to leave the jail. They're gonna have paperwork, they're gonna be expecting you there. Make sure you go there. If you don't go there, they're gonna let me know that, and then I'm gonna have to issue a warrant for you again. So, go there as soon as you get released from the jail. You're gonna fill out some initial paperwork, and then you're gonna get a date that you have to go back there for your interview. They need to, they're gonna be completing a pre-sentence report. In order for them to complete a report, they have to sit down with you and interview you and talk to you. If they can't do that, if they're not able to do that, then they can't do a report. If there's no report, I'm not even allowed to consider probation as an option. I'll have to send you to prison. So it's important that you show up, not just today, but then when you're there today, you're going to fill out some paperwork and you're going to get the date to come back there for your interview. They're not going to be able to do the interview today. It takes a couple hours, so make sure you have some time. But if you don't show up for that interview, then they can't complete a report. And without a report, I have to send you to prison. You understand that?
yes,
All right. Also, a condition of your bond has been and will continue to be that you don't use any drugs. Is drugs an issue at all? Are drugs
No.
an issue? If
No.
they are, you should let us know so we can explore that to make sure that that's an issue that needs to be addressed.
No.
All right, well, they may take urine screens from you. They have to be negative. A positive screen will again automatically result in your bond being revoked and a warrant being issued. You understand that?
yes,
Okay. So what are you going to do when you get released today?
go to probation.
All right. And then you're going to get a date to come back, and then you come back whenever you guys work out that
Yes.
date. All right. Standing, I'll sign paperwork from him. All right, anything else,
Nothing further.
Mr. Mulkey?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you.
you.
People versus Anthony Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
And Ms. Schlussel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Deborah Schlossel on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Anthony Johnson.
And
Your
Today
Honor,
was
I know
the
Ms.
time-
Mandarino met with Ms. Schlussel. I'm not sure what the disposition was, so, but I'm here.
Your Honor, the court's memory. We were here with the court on April 24th. At that time, I told the city's council that there was nothing in the police report that did not appear to be any case. And if there was anything showing that my client signed anything or anything was actually deposited, we would like to see it. We were told it would be sent to us. Then we were here on June 24th. We still did not have it 2 months later. Your
Right.
Honor told the city that if they did not serve us with that documentation by July 3rd, that you would dismiss this matter. We received that material at 2:42 p.m. yesterday. So we are asking that this matter be dismissed with prejudice because we did not get it by July 3rd. It's been months. And I was told by Ms. Manarino that I have no manners because I asserted this to her. So, Your Honor, I may have no manners in her opinion. I think I have pretty good manners, Your Honor. But regardless, I am asking this matter be dismissed with prejudice because the material was not given to us till 2:42 p.m. in an email yesterday.
Your Honor, can I address this, please?
sure.
Sure. I was not in the breakout room with Ms. Mandarino and Ms. Schlussel, and I was not here at the prior court date that Ms. Schlussel was here with regard to that case. My understanding is that it was not July 3rd, that it was July 7th, which I produced it yesterday. However, I only produced it because we had not heard from Ms. Schlussel since the beginning of this case. On February 20, unbeknownst to the court, at the time that this was represented on the record, on February 25th, 2025, this office, the prosecutor's office for the city of Taylor, has a regular pattern and practice of producing discovery immediately to attorneys to get whatever it is they need. So whenever they ask our office, my office, me and Ms. Manarino, for discovery, we immediately, without a court order, provide a copy of the police report and a discovery order to be entered with specific directions and fax number to be sent to the Taylor Police Records Department to obtain whatever it is the police department has with regard to this file.
Ooh, he sounds pissed. Like royally pissed, and his face. I think you need to go on blood pressure medicine, sir. It's through the roof.
The reason why we set it up that way is because, as this court is aware, 90% of the time, all the attorneys really want to see is the police report and see the narrative on what's going on. And they don't want to go through the process of obtaining videos and all kinds of stuff that's there. And that's why we provide them with the same standard discovery order to obtain whatever it is they want to do. So this was done, and I have an email to Ms. Schlussel on February 25th, 2025, with the police report, which provides what we may or may not have in it, and a court order to obtain whatever it is she wants to do. All right. And then after the last court date, which was June 24th, on June 26th, there is an email. Good morning, Ms. Schlussel, forwarding the February 25th email saying, following up on our discovery request. Here's the email that we sent you previously. Here's another copy of the report and the discovery order. What is it that you're looking for, or whatever it is that you need? Then yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, I sent an email to Ms. Schlussel because I'm following up, and I say, hey, what's going on? Do you have everything? Do you not have everything? I don't know what's going on. No, nothing, no response. All right. So I went through the file again. I talked to my staff and I said, look, we haven't gotten anything. We're more comfortable with the discovery order being entered because a lot of times there's personal identifying information. There's stuff like that the city and everybody is protected with regard to disclosure when there's a discovery order. And I looked through the documents from the bank, from Total Community Credit Union, and I determined, all right, you know what? I'll just forward this over because we have not heard a response from Ms. Schlussel since February.
Okay. All right, so I did have.
You're on mute, Debbie.
Ms. Schlussel, you are muted.
Your Honor, with regard to all of that, regardless of an email chain asking me things, the email chain really revved up in the last few days. You said on the record everything was to be turned over to me by July 3rd. It was not. And you said you would dismiss this matter if it had not been. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted, because I specifically wrote it down. I said, plaintiffs to give discovery to the defendant on or before 7/3/2025. 7/8/25 motion to compel discovery / to dismiss. So today was the date and time for a motion to compel discovery and or for a dismissal. If you hadn't got, now last time when you were here, there was nothing specific requested to the court, just that you hadn't gotten discovery. So if there was,
Your Honor,
if there was an email that was there, and then if there was something more specific, Mr. Greco is saying that he said there's an order there. If there's something more specific, tell me what the more specific thing is. So
Your Honor, I specifically said on the record last time that on the 24th, we had asked Ms. Manarino, all we have is a 1-paragraph police report. It has no proof of anything. And as far as I'm concerned, my client didn't do anything. If you can produce the checks that you claim were deposited and show my client's signature, we would like to see them. Ms. Manarino told me she would get those to me before the next court date. She had 2 months. Nobody said, oh, but you know what? You have to go back to our email in February and go through this procedure. She said she would get it to me. If she had said, oh, I can't get it to you until you do this, this, and this, I would have done it. She didn't say that. She said, I will get it to you before the next court hearing. She had 2 months. At the last court hearing, we did not have those checks. I put that on the record. Ms. Manarino said on the record that somebody in the office was supposed to provide it and they didn't. So, Your Honor, I was very specific about what we wanted, which was the documentation of what they claimed in the police report, which we didn't get. Your Honor, they didn't produce it by July 3rd, and I'm asking that this matter be dismissed with prejudice. They didn't comply by with what you said. It was not 7/7, it was 7/3, and I did ask for it April 24th. I was assured by Ms. Manarino that it would be forthcoming, and that she would send it to me. And again, on the record, she represented to the court on June 24th that that somebody in the office was supposed to send it and they didn't. So now we're going back and telling me, or the other side is going back and telling me that I should have responded to emails in February, or I should have responded to emails from yesterday when I was in court all day and I had something due by midnight last night. I didn't see their emails till late yesterday when after the close of business. But regardless, none of that is relevant. What is relevant is that I asked for these on the 24th of April. I was told they would be forthcoming on the 24th of June. I said what I did not get, which was the check documentation, because my client is accused of depositing false checks or something of that nature. And you told them to get it to me by July 3rd. They didn't get it to me. I already had the 1-paragraph police report, which has nothing. I mean, there's no proof of anything on there. There's no case on there. And as we know, police reports are not exhibits. They're not evidence. So, Your Honor, I now to backtrack, for them to backtrack and say, oh, I should have responded to something in February, or I should have done this or this, when I relied on the prosecution's assurance on April 24th, months ago, that it would be sent to me. And then on June 24th, when the representation was made to the court that the person who was supposed to send it didn't do it. Now all of a sudden it's my fault because of something back in February or emails yesterday. Come on now.
Your Honor, if you can see the shared screen, 2 days after the June 24th court date is the email to Ms. Schlussel.
Yeah, and it does state that the order is there. If you want to get permission to sign your name to it,
We'll enter it for her.
And
get it. Sorry, Joe.
So here's the thing. What I'm looking for is there any prejudice? All right, and I'm going to set this. Obviously, it seems like Ms. Schlussel is indicating, and zealously so, as a good attorney does, that her client is innocent. And so I'm going to set this for a trial. The next trial date that I even have available wouldn't be until probably the end of September. So if you have these checks, you say that the checks came in the email yesterday?
Yeah,
Yes, I received them yesterday, but Your Honor,
sure.
Your Honor,
Then there's not going to be any prejudice to either party, especially to the defendant here, because he has a zealous representation with Ms. Schlussel representing him. They have the discovery that they're going to need for the trial to prepare for it. I'm going to set it up for a pre-trial a week before the trial. So, and if there is anything else, Ms. Schlussel, do I have your, actually, is there an order in the file?
No, she hasn't given us consent to sign it, so she could get anything that she wants.
So if anything else needs to be, is there anything else that needs to be given to either party?
So, Your Honor, I would argue my client has been prejudiced because this case started in February, Your Honor, in February. And we've come to multiple court dates, and Your Honor, this has been months and months and months. It's been half a year. And Your Honor, you did order them to produce everything by the 3rd. There was nothing about I have to sign an order. You ordered them to produce it, and they didn't. So, Your Honor, I think my client has been prejudiced. And now to wait till September, 7 months later, or I'm sorry if my math is correct. Yeah, 7 months later. Now it's July. It's 5 months later.
So,
Your Honor, I don't think that is, I don't think that that's fair to my client because he's shown up. And you didn't say anything about I have to sign an order. You ordered them to produce it.
Ms.
Just
Schlussel
like
could
on
have
April
gotten all
20,
this stuff by the first week of March.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm talking. I didn't interrupt you. So just like on April 24th, when Ms. Manarino told me she would send it, and just like on June 24th, where she represented to the court that the wrong person didn't send, or the person who's supposed to send it to the wrong person or didn't send it to us. Now all of a sudden I have to sign an order. They never brought that up before. They said they'd get it to me. So now they're relying on this paperwork when you ordered them to send it and they didn't do it. And you did say that if they didn't serve it on me by the 3rd, which they did not do, then this would be dismissed. And they didn't do
Then I
it.
would, no, I didn't say I would dismiss it. I said I'd set it for the 8th for a motion to compel discovery / dismissal. I literally have the notation right here on the file. So.
Okay, so that's my motion, Your Honor. I'm moving that
Oh,
this should
sure,
be
I
dismissed.
understand that. And I find that there would be no prejudice. With regard to a court date, I have, let's see. Is this gonna be a bench trial or a jury trial?
So, Your Honor, now that I have it finally, I would like you to set another retrial soon so that maybe we can work this out soon to be fair to my client since he's waited for months.
Sure, you guys, I want you to be able to take a look at it. You said you got it yesterday, so, how about we have a pretrial next week? Next week or the 22nd, one of the two, 15th or the 22nd.
Whichever one's good for Ms. Schlussel is fine with me.
Your Honor, the 22nd would be good for me.
All right, so we're gonna set this for the 7/22. And that'll be at 8:30. We'll see everybody then. And then as far as the trial date, is that gonna be a bench trial or a jury trial?
Your Honor, I'm not sure at this time. Can we wait to decide that until the 22nd?
All right, not a problem. I was just trying to look at potential dates. So let's still look at potential dates. How about August the 11th?
8/11 or what for the
It
trial?
would be at 8:30. It would be at 8:30 in the morning.
Eight
So-
for the trial?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I do have a brief 9:30 sentencing on Zoom with Wayne County Juvenile Court. If we could do it after that, that would work for me.
Sure. I just set it at 8:30. If you need to step aside, go into one of the private rooms here, and I don't know if you're doing it by Zoom, right? So like your phone.
Right, at 9:30.
Yeah, and that way, if you guys worked it out, I just want to start something, get a date going so that I can mail out, and if Mr. Greco's available, I'm available on Monday mornings. And then this is why I keep the Monday mornings flexible like that.
August 11 works.
Judge, you're not here August 11th.
Hang on a second. How about August the 18th?
So, Your Honor, I think we have evidentiary hearings that morning for environmental wood.
Check.
I think you're scheduled for 10 a.m. I think we're booked that morning. I think those were specifically scheduled.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
About August 25th.
So far, there's nothing scheduled.
How about August 25th?
Let me check 1 second, Your Honor.
And if it's gonna be a bench trial, I have a lot of other dates that'll be open to availability. So you don't have to pick that today, but on the 22nd, if you know.
So, Your Honor, I do have a big trial in circuit court.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I do have a conflict on the 25th. That's one that I can't get out of.
Do you have the 19th available, Your Honor? Or the 21st? Or the 12th or the 15th?
I have other, as far as the 19th, I guess the only thing on the 19th I could do would be, let me see if that's already scheduled out that far. August 19th.
Here, you know what? One say.
Yeah, I could do. All I have is one thing set on in the afternoon. That's just a priority waste. Civil and misdemeanor and civil infraction. So I could set it. I could set it at 1:30.
Okay.
19th.
August 19th?
Yeah.
I'm available on the 19th.
I can do it.
All right,
All
so
right, so
1:30 on August 19th.
Yep, I'm gonna set up a trial on the 19th of August at 1:30. Actually, I'll just set it for 1:15. So everybody's here and ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, of
And that's in person. I'm gonna put in person on there.
course.
And if it's gonna be a bench trial, it'll be a bench trial. If it's gonna be a jury trial, it'll be a jury trial.
And Debbie,
So
call me
motion-
this week or next week, so.
Okay,
Motion.
I will.
Motion.
Debbie? What? And you say that so calmly now. A minute ago, the two of you were at each other's throats. And now you're best friends? Call me later this week. We'll have dinner together. Like, what? I don't understand how attorneys can do that, but they all do it. They fight terribly, and then they're just like, yeah, let's have a drink after the case. Like, what? I can't be two-faced like that. If I'm at your throat, I'm at your throat.
Motion to dismiss is denied. I don't find that there's prejudice. And motion with regard to the discovery. Ms. Schlossfeld, do you have everything you need now? I mean, is there
I
anything
believe
left?
I do, yes.
Okay, so there's no need for me to sign any other orders ordering discovery?
You know, Ms. Schlussel, what we're going to do is I'm just going to sign your name to the order that we have. We'll have it entered and we'll get it to you just in case there's something that comes up that that you need.
Okay,
All right, and let the record so reflect that. And then we'll see everybody on the 22nd.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. People versus Regina Hubbard.
Yes.
Second, eight,
Yes,
four.
Your Honor,
So,
Todd
Ms.
Beard.
Okay, so you have to.
I'm sorry.
All right, Ms. Hubbard, there is a plea agreement here whereby you would be pleading to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive your motor vehicle and to the double parking civil infraction. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Anybody promise you anything or threaten you in any way to get you to do anything this morning?
No.
Mr. Barron, as to the arraignment portion of today's proceedings,
We'd waive reading and stand mute.
I'll enter a plea of not guilty as she stands mute. As to the plea agreement, ma'am, you went through over your constitutional rights with your attorney, Mr. Barron, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you understand all of your constitutional rights?
Yes.
Did you have any question about any of your constitutional rights?
No, sir.
Are you knowingly and voluntarily, that means you pick, you're choosing, are you knowingly and voluntarily waiving those constitutional rights so you can take advantage of the plea agreement that they offered you?
Yes, I'm willing to take the plea agreement they offered me.
All righty. All right, and as to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive your motor vehicle, which is a misdemeanor punishable by 93 days in jail and up to $500 in fines, but no points with the Secretary of State, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not good.
I'm sorry, my hearing is not good. Did you say guilty or not guilty?
Can you hear me?
Yes, maybe we're having some audio difficulties.
Let me
As
try
to
to go
the- Sure.
downstairs.
As to the amended charge, the misdemeanor of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive your motor vehicle, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Ms. Hubbard, this is the reduction that we discussed.
Okay. Oh, so say guilty. Okay, guilty.
Well,
If
I'm not
taking-
telling you to say guilty or not guilty. I'm just explaining the question the judge is asking is, do you want to plead guilty to the reduced charge of allowing the unlicensed driver so it does not go onto your driving record?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
All right, so I just want to make sure you understand, there's a misdemeanor. It's called allowing an unlicensed driver to drive your motor vehicle. You are knowingly and voluntarily waiving your constitutional rights, knowingly and voluntarily accepting that plea of, or entering a plea of guilty. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nobody's threatening you or promising you anything or forcing you in any way, shape, or form to do what you're doing today?
No, sir.
All right. Then I will accept that plea of guilty. I'm just going to ask you this. On March 17th, 2025, did you have your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor?
Yes, sir.
And did you allow an unlicensed driver, including yourself, to drive that motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I find there's a factual basis for accepting the plea. As to double parking, how do you plead? Responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
All right, 165 on the double parking, 135 on the allowing, for a total of 300. Payment plan of $50 a month. First payment is going to start on August 8th, 2025, and we'll mail that out to you. Have a blessed day.
You said August 8th, sir?
Yes.
Yep, that'll be the first payment. That'll be the first payment, and then we're gonna mail that out to you, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
People versus Tyler Drew.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Kazicki on behalf of Mr. Drew. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute, request a settlement conference. Prosecutor has no objection to a personal bond in this matter, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna set that at $5,000. Actually, it was already set at,
300, I think it was.
no, it was originally set at a personal bond, then he failed to appear. And it got set at $1,000. Then he failed to appear again and got set at a $300 cash for surety. That's how it got bumped up to cash for surety, because as soon as I give him a personal bond, he doesn't seem to show up. So I'm just gonna keep it at $300 cash for surety.
Okay.
And we'll see you at the settlement conference. People versus Charles Applewhite.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Applewhite, go ahead, Mr. Gazicki.
Your Honor, James Kazicki on behalf of Mr. Applewhite, waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. He's going to plead to impaired, Your Honor, at a blood alcohol of 0.10.
All right. Mr. Applewhite, you had the opportunity to discuss the facts of your case with your attorney, Mr. Gazicki, is that correct?
Yes.
And you went over all of your constitutional rights with Mr. Gazicki as well, is that correct?
Yes.
And you gave him permission to sign your name to that advice of rights form, because that indicates that you understood those rights?
Yes.
All right, sir, you understand that you had to knowingly and voluntarily waive those rights in order to accept the plea agreement. Is that what you're doing today?
Yes.
All righty, and you understand that the plea agreement is this: the operating while intoxicated, that was the original misdemeanor, will be dismissed, and you'd be pleading guilty to operating while visibly impaired, which is still a misdemeanor, punishable by 93 days in jail and or up to $500 in fines. And you understand that?
Yes.
All right. And as to that charge of operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, sir, I'm going to take you back to May the 2nd, 2025. Did you have your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor on that day?
You said May 25th?
Yeah, May 2nd of 2025.
May 2nd.
Did you have your vehicle in the city of Taylor on that day?
Yes.
And before you began, and you drove your vehicle in the city of Taylor on that day?
Yes.
And before you began driving your vehicle in the city of Taylor on that day, had you ingested any intoxicating substances?
Just like a shot.
And what had you had to drink?
Yes, it was 1800.
All right. And how much of the 1800 did you have?
Just a shot. 2.
2 shots?
Yes.
And did the consumption of those 2 shots visibly impair your ability to drive?
No, I didn't know because they were early in the day.
Okay. So I can't accept your plea because I'm going to put you into a breakout room where you can speak with Mr. Gazicki.
Okay.
And so he'll be in there in a minute.
Afternoon, Donna Strobe on behalf of the people, case 7439.
All right, this is case 251601 SD, People versus Charles Applewhite. Ms. Sobe, having put your appearance on the record. Mr. Kazicki, you've already put your appearance on the record. Mr. Applewhite, I was taking your plea, and you had explained that you understood all of your constitutional rights. And I was taking your plea with regard to the amended charge of operating while visibly impaired. It has come to the court's attention that the complaint is wrong, and the actual date of the offense was not May 2nd, it was rather March 17th.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, the parties stipulate to amending the complaint to state the correct offense date, or am I dismissing it?
That's correct, Your Honor.
I will stipulate, Your Honor.
Well, he was drunk on that day too. I mean, he was just admitting to it because he already knew.
All right, so Mr. Applewhite,
Yes, sir.
when I asked you if you were driving a motor vehicle in your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor, it was not May the 2nd, as you stated. On March 17th, were you driving your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor?
Yes, sir.
And before you began driving your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th of 2025, had you ingested any intoxicating substances before you drove your vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And what had you had to drink?
1800.
And did the consumption of the, by 1800, you mean tequila? Not that the court is aware, but let's take judicial notice of the fact that it's tequila.
Yes, sir.
And very good. And did that consumption of that tequila visibly impair your ability to drive?
Yes, sir.
All right. I find there's a factual basis for accepting the plea. Mr. Gazicki, do you concur?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Applewhite, I'm going to set this up for a pre-sentence investigation report. I need to know more about you, about if alcohol, if this was just like a one-up, one day, my bad, or is alcohol having a negative impact in your life that I need to know about and take steps to make sure that we have an accurate and fair sentence in the matter. So you're going to be contacted by my probation department. Just be open and honest with your questions. That's all I ask. Then they're going to create a pre-sentence investigation report that you and Mr. Gazicki will be able to review. And then he'll be able to allocate on your behalf at the date of sentencing. Understood?
Okay.
All right. So we'll be back again at a later date, and they'll be contacting you. Thank you.
Does that include my docket for the day? The cases, my case is on your docket.
Mr. Applewhite, you're good to go for today, sir.
Okay.
For today, sir. Oh, that was so much fun. We had a new judge and an old judge. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for making me laugh tonight. You guys are the absolute greatest. Oh, thank you. I only have it because of you guys. Yes, good night, everyone. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Thank you for coming, Fargan Mestige. You guys make this the best life, and I am so grateful because I don't know what I would do without you, and that's the God's honest truth. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.